stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Oh, I'm turning the fan on. I'm up.
What's happening?
Damn, Mike. What is your problem?
I'm going metal.
That just got real.
Yeah.
Ow.
Real metal.
There's a whole lot of broness and...
It's a lot of raw aggression. It's like...
It's VOR raw.
Well, that's right. VOR is raw.
It's
Monday Night
Raw.
Hell yeah. This is Raw Ed.
This is the Mikester.
This is Carl Man Savage.
Love it.
And we are joined by two guests tonight.
I'm the hype master, Joe.
And I am Rowdy Rustbucket.
Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking.
Awesome, guys. So, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
We're so excited to be here. I'm sweating.
And you might recognize Joe and Rusty from SPX coverage. They do Full Sanction Comics, which is the official voice of SPX. So
Yeah, we basically sit out front and scare people away
Yeah.
from the front of the show.
We're human scarecrows. I guess we're scare hipsters. Because
Scare
we're getting rid of the
hipsters.
hipsters.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. They gave us an interview. You guys gave us an interview there.
It's fantastic.
No, you gave us the interview.
Oh, you let us be interviewed.
I think
It
we
felt
achieved
nice.
what is it's seen as a really rare thing in the pages of Cosmopolitan, which is a mutually beneficial co-interview experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a social hug, is what it is.
but
yeah.
it was kind of a if it was DC Comics, it would have been a crisis. It would have been like SPX Crisis or Podcast Crisis,
Yeah.
and then Flash would have died.
Trying to get onto
Yeah.
this hangout was a podcast crisis.
Forget about it. You're so...
Oh.
Sorry about that, guys. But hey, we're not here to talk about Republicans or else you want to get into it? You're going to give a little backstory?
No, I was actually just getting ready to say, like, we're not here to talk technical issues. We're here to talk wrestling. Because last night was WrestleMania. And I can say comfortably that half the people on this show did watch it live last night.
Mathematically correct.
Very comfortably.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you know math? Because it doesn't seem actually half. It does not.
Yeah,
seem
I'm
half.
thinking there's 3 out of 5 guys who watched it.
Oh, you know what, though? I'm an idiot, because I just looked down and I looked at the squares. I was doing the squares and not the actual people.
So you need to get your ass back to college is what you need to do.
Wow.
The worst part is I'm going back for electrical engineering, which is a lot of math, so I'm just fucked. I'm done.
Man, I can't wait to see what shit you come up with.
Everything's going to be like... I am going to be like that one skit with Jesus being the worst carpenter, like doing two-leg tables and stuff.
Yeah. Hey guys, I invented a hologram glove. You just wave it in front of your face, and you could see like virtual hot women or a vacation on the beach. Watch. We'll just try it on. Carl, there's something wrong with your glove, Carl. Just
Missing a finger.
yeah.
And it makes you go
come on.
blind. So.
And it makes you go
but
blind.
no, yeah, it's a hologram that makes you go blind.
That's his current glove.
Oh, that's what my mom always told me.
Ouch.
But wrestling's kind of making a comeback. It seems like a lot of people are starting to watch it more. I know I'm coming back after a lapse of watching it for about 5-10 years, maybe even more. So we thought we'd take an opportunity to talk about it. But before we get into it, this weekend I learned that a lot of people don't understand the vocabulary of pro wrestling. It's something that's kind of come out in the past 10, 20 years where these fans have become, fans which are also known as marks, have become smart to the business, which makes them smart marks or smarks. So while we're taking
Do
a
you
moment
know
here,
where the term mark came from?
I do.
No, I have an
Have at
idea, but
ahead.
I don't know for sure.
Well, the term
So you're-
mark it originated in the carny days.
Mhm.
So when someone would stumble upon a carnival and they want to have their hand at a game or two, a carnival person would see them and see them as being a susceptible target for their scams.
A sucker.
Yeah, exactly. They would place a white chalk mark on their back, possibly on their shoulder, like they're patting them on the back, and that became the term mark.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
I
pretty
didn't.
cool.
I figured it was something like that, but I never knew about the chalk mark. That's brilliant.
There you go.
So
Well, that's
you
one to
learned-
grow on.
yeah, you learned something new on VOR.
This is all I know.
That's it.
All right.
Damn, dude, you blew it early on, too.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna take a
We're just gonna
nap.
sit in silence.
Moving along.
But a few other things to keep in mind, and you guys can chime in if to define these or elaborate on them further. A bump. This is a very basic thing in wrestling. A bump is pretty much any time someone takes a move. It's basically them landing on the mat, or any time that they take a move, they call it like he took a bump.
Oh, Carl in Orlando bumps mean cocaine.
Yeah, and earlier today, after I had my coffee, I took a bump.
And in the 80s in wrestling, bump still meant cocaine.
That's true.
I think cocaine has a lot to do with all of it.
Especially during the 80s, because every time you took a bump, you took a bump.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to the mat.
Then another term that goes kind of along with bump is spot. A spot is sometimes just referred to as a single move. So if they say they blew a spot, that means that, like, they tried to jump off the ropes and they missed them completely and ended up on the outside of the ring. Also, spot can be referencing a predetermined event in the wrestling match. So if you knew something's going to happen, it's called a spot. I'm going to throw some out here, and then do you guys want to define them also? Because I know you guys know.
Sure.
That way it's not just me talking here.
Well, I don't know that Rusty will be able to help us too much.
Yeah, I have a limited amount of knowledge on this, but
He is a casual
Joe-
fan.
Joe has a PhD
See-
in wrestling. So.
And that's exactly why we're doing this, is because some people don't care to know this stuff either. But if we're going to be talking it, I don't want to be like, blah, 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 and then everyone's just like, I don't fucking know what you're talking
I've got a wrestling term that I want to toss into the ring before you go any further.
about. Okay.
I learned it at the YMCA downtown.
Oh, no.
The term is alligator.
What?
Alligator is a guy that hangs out in the shower and waits for people to come in. Like,
I
he'll
don't
hang out in the shower all day long.
I don't see how this. I don't see the wrestling connection here, unless that's what I was waiting for.
I mean, maybe
I do.
wrestling showers in particular, but
It's for shower wrestling.
Oh yeah. I watch that every Saturday night.
I actually held
see.
a belt for about 2 months in shower wrestling.
That's funny because it's the only thing you had too, just
Yeah,
the belt.
Just the belt.
Oh,
Belt. Well, maybe it was soap on the rope, not so much a belt.
I just tied it. Yeah, that's all.
see, if I get bumped, I might end up, but never, not that often.
Rusty is a mark for shower wrestling.
You're marked.
I pulled some pretty good spots.
Yeah, you're good spots, those man.
Okay, on with the show.
Rusty was pretty over.
Yes, he was over. He was
See,
over with
and that
the
was-
gentleman in the showers.
And that was the next one that actually wasn't the next one, but it's close to the next one we were going to say. You want to go ahead and explain what over means, Joe?
All right, so over means to basically be have the crowd get into you, to be over with someone. You can use it if you want to use it in everyday parlance. You could say that
You win them over.
the dumb things Rusty's do gets him over with me. That's the kind of way you can put it. The irresponsible behaviors he partakes in. I am a mark for Rusty. He gets over with me as his audience.
Okay.
That's great.
Right on.
Yeah, and
Good job.
And then also, you can use it almost in a verb-like setting where someone can put someone else over, which usually means that they lose to them and make them look good.
Now, for example, a good example of putting someone over or not, WrestleMania XXX, Toronto, Canada, the Ultimate Warrior faced Hulk Hogan in an epic Clash of the Titans, and Hulk Hogan lost the match to the Ultimate Warrior. While he lost to him, he didn't exactly put him over, because after the match, even though it was supposed to be the Ultimate Warrior's moment, Hulk Hogan retained all of the spotlight and the glory by making it about him. So he didn't put him over, even though he lost.
Yes.
Very
So
sneaky.
and that also ties into the next thing, which is called selling, or to sell, which is your reaction to something else that someone does, specifically a move. So if someone punches someone, the snapping the net back, making it look good, that's them selling it. Or they can, on the flip, no-sell the move, which means you're just doing stuff to them that looks like it should be painful, but then they just get up and walk away from it, making you look like a complete chump.
You can find a fun example of this online. In the, I want to say in the late 90s, there was a special on one of the channels, and it had to do with revealing the secrets of pro wrestling. And there was a masked gentleman who gave away all the secrets of wrestling. And he talked about, oh, did you know that this happens and this happens? And one of the things they do in this special is they show you the power of selling, where they have one guy assaulting the other one in the scripted manner that wrestlers do, but the other guy doesn't react to it. So that just basically it just highlights how artificial the blows are, because the other guy is not reacting or selling them.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like
that's really
throwing a punch and taking a punch, like in the movies, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it shows the collaboration that goes on in the ring, because, or you can go the complete opposite, where when Hulk Hogan wrestled Shawn Michaels, and he knew that Hulk Hogan, like normal, wasn't going to put him over, so he oversold everything that Hulk Hogan did, which resulted in him getting punched once and going over the top rope, which was just brilliant. I'm going to put a video of that up
right here in Washington, D.C.
That's right. Yeah. So, but that's some general terminology there. One last thing, push. A push is when someone gets the support of their promoter, the brand and everything, and that means that they're going to start winning matches, they're going to start looking good. So if someone gets a push, that means that they're going to start getting the support of their owners. So
Right, and a perfect example, current day push, would be that of the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Bryan.
Yes. So, we got, what,
Excuse me.
3 minutes left?
Yes, sir.
Something like that.
Man, we might actually have to put off the WrestleMania talk until the next segment. So let's go ahead and start, though. Or do you want to start? How do we want to do this?
Go ahead. Yeah, let's do a couple minutes on general emotion. Give us the emotion of the evening.
What'd you guys think of it? We'll start off with the guests.
Well, I had a grand time. I don't tend to look at things too critically. I'm just a fan of the event in general and of the drama it can create, either good or bad. And watching it with Rusty, again, who's more of a casual fan, it just adds to the enjoyment because, you know, you get to kind of share the goofiness and the fun things.
Yeah, and
That is such a healthy way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
it's very much a better spectator sport when you have everybody involved and cheering along together.
And I was lucky enough that I was in a room with about like 6 people watching it on a big 60-inch television, and there was probably only 2 smarks in the entire room. The rest of the people were either non-fans or casual fans.
Yeah.
And you're right, it really adds to it because, you know, then you get to explain like, okay, this is why this is working, and then they're like, yeah, that is why it's working, and then they're watching it and they're getting into it. And you can see what's making them excited, and you see like, yeah, that's what's getting me excited, but for different reasons. It's a lot of fun to have other people there and have them react in the room. Kind of like there was a big part last night when this guy named Cesaro won this 30-man battle royale by pretty much remaking the moment in WrestleMania 1 WrestleMania 3 when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant and body slammed him.
Yeah.
And
We're big fans of Cesaro over here, and it was kind of amazing last night.
There's only 2 of us that knew who Cesaro even was that evening, and the entire room just blew up like, oh my God, that just happened! Because there's this guy that's he's just slightly taller than I am, a really super fit guy, picking up the Giant, Paul White, the Big Show, picks him up into a body slam. Just this big, huge dude, and then throws him over the top rope. Like
a reaction such as that would be that of a mark.
Yes. and which reminds me, is when you get a positive reaction like that, it's called a pop. So when the fans blow up and they cheer and they scream and everything, you get a pop. So more vocabulary for you.
Don't do that. I heard an interview once with a WWE writer, a former writer, and he was an old guy who worked on Beverly Hills 90210, and somehow he segued from Beverly Hills 90210 to working for the WWE as a writer. And during this interview, he described how the wrestlers, if they were successful, they got pops. But the bad guys, he said, got boo pops, which is not a that's ever been used before in my life.
Boo pops.
Boo pops.
Those come out every Halloween, I think.
Exactly.
That's going to be my new goal in life, achieving boo pops.
Actually, that sounds like a hip hop name.
Every day you live, you get boo pops from me.
Yeah. I don't get over, I get under.
And and that's the funny thing. Like, we can get into this a little bit later when we talk like the actual just like psychology and the showmanship that is wrestling. But people don't realize that, like, I was watching with a friend. He's like, "Oh God, I hate JBL," who's one of the announcers, and he'd always say this stuff like,
Hold on.
That's gonna upset.
Rusty loves JBL.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Ridiculous and awesome.
Is JBL, his whole job is to be a bad guy announcer. He's like Bobby the Brain Heenan back in the day, where he's like when Triple H's wife Stephanie McMahon's out there taunting one of his opponents, Daniel Bryan. He's like, "Oh, he's not taunting Daniel. She's not taunting Daniel Bryan. She's encouraging her husband." But it's like he's like doing this bad guy thing where he's spinning it. He's like, "Oh no, they're not bad guys," and he's like, "Man, I hate that JBL." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's doing his job. You're hating him. That's his job.
He's doing a perfect
you're
job.
playing right into it."
That's really cool that now the announcers are an extension of the drama of wrestling and the
They have
characters
always
and
been. They've always been. There's always been one who favors another.
storylines.
Yeah,
No
and that's
matter who.
and that's the beautiful thing about wrestling. And we'll get into that in one of the next parts because we do have to wrap this up for today.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and finish talking up WrestleMania tomorrow. And then in the next couple of days, we're going to be talking like the psychology and the showmanship of wrestling and comparing it to other forms of entertainment. So.
Cool. So you guys should stick around. Joe and Rusty, please stick around.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right.
It was nice of you to stick around for an entire week with us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got nothing to do.
I quit my job, guys.
Yeah.
Us too. Perfect. Welcome.
I just didn't even call him. I'm like, whatever.
This show is how you call off. It's like, where have you been? You just send them a link. Bling.
Yeah.
That's
Deal
right.
with that, guys.
Drop it. Cool. But you guys watching today and listening via iTunes or your method of choice, please stick around. We got 3 more shows coming up with Rusty and Joe and VOR and Wrestlemania. In the meantime, you can always go to www.vorradio.com, and we've got links to everything we do. We can keep this conversation going all night long. And if you feel the need to hit us back up, you can try the Republicom, which is our voicemail, 407-409-8749, 2-minute limit, and try not to use any crazy background music when you call. Hey, you think we're totally wrong, full of crap, give us a call, like I said, or drop us an email at voiceofrep@gmail.com, and we will read it on the show. Guarantee it. We love you that much, unless we hate you, and then we'll talk shit about you, but we'll read your email, so it doesn't really matter. And that's all we got for tonight.
You won't know until it's too late.
And there is one thing we do have to announce. You guys might know that we usually record on Monday night. Starting next week,
thank you, Carl.
we're going to start recording on Sunday nights. So if you want to get those voicemails and emails into us, be sure to get them in by Sunday afternoon to get them in on time because we will be recording on Sunday evenings going forward after this week. So next week, Sunday.
Boom.
Knowledge is dropped.
So that's Sunday the 13th, in case your calendar stiffers. So.
Yeah, but the shows will still come out per usual method. So
Yeah,
So shut the fuck up.
yeah. Nothing, the videos aren't going to change. Just your feedback needs to be in a little sooner. That's all.
that's right. You can do it.
It's more about you than us.
Mm-hmm.
I have faith in everything.
That's right. Cool, guys. Well, yeah, like we said, we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk more WrestleMania with Joe and Rusty. Full sanction!
Bye.